local field with a global reach. And thank you for tuning in to Out of Bounds with T-Rex. And I'm T-Rex, your host. And at this current time, I'm going to start bringing in my co-host. Here we go. What's the mystery host going to be? What's up? It's my girl, DST Cheryl. How you doing, girl? How you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Happy Sunday, everybody, and happy mental health.
Happy mental health. Here is one of my wonderful frat brothers, Sean. What's up, Sean? Can you hear us?
Sir.
How you doing? How you doing?
Here. Just
okay.
Trying to wake up yesterday.
Omar hooked us up. Hello, Omar. See you. What's up, darling? I saw a little DS. How you doing? What up, Jay? What up, JP?
Greetings, everyone.
And here's Big Hen. How you doing today? I want to thank
you, my brothers. Everything is good.
I think Sean disappointed me. I don't know which. There we go. Everybody's there. Sean disappeared on me, so I just want to make sure everything. All right, let's get something out first before we start this conversation. I want everybody to understand one thing. This is our own opinion. This is not our opinions of our fraternity or sorority. This is our opinions. It doesn't go with, so I don't want any headquarters calling me, fussing at me, telling me I'm crazy, because I already know that. That's why I take my medication. So I'm trying to fix my little do-rag, but looking at the camera and trying to fix it is not the same thing. But anyway, who gives a crap? All right, everybody. We're just going to talk about Greek life. I'm gonna say a little question, and then chime in when you're ready, and we'll go from there. Everybody knows who's everybody. Henry, that's Sean on the other side with the K side. Henry, I pledged Henry back at Theta Beta Austin P back in 81. Well, I saw him. I didn't pledge him. I saw him. I didn't touch him. He was like, what was you like, 6'2", something like that? 6'2", 280 or something like that?
6'3", 240 back then.
Yes. He was at that time. I wasn't the sex man that I was before. I was like, I think I was like 110 or something like that. Anyway, the first question I got is, I want to ask a question and just your opinion or your correct answer. Alumni chapters. Can anybody tell me why were the alumni chapters founded or brought into, not founded, but brought into the organizations? Does anybody know? Just speak up.
I would assume because it's a lifetime commitment. And how are we going to do a lifetime commitment if we don't continue after undergrad?
Well, I think I have to. Maybe my question was vague, so I'll say it again. The alumni chapters came into play because there was a need for the graduates to go after college when the graduates and as my brothers can know, we have a song say, when school we must go, so we all must leave school at some time, and then we go. So that's when the alumni chapters came from. So I just checking with everybody. Is that the same understanding y'all got from it, or what?
Yeah, I think financially, grad or alumni chapters carry the organizations, so they are important and critical to each of our organizations.
That is very true. That gives us some place where we can go back and we can give, so we can give to serve the community. The only difference I was told, and it was a while back, so y'all correct me if I'm giving off false information from y'all's point of view. The alumni chapters were founded for the reasons of service work, not to perform in step shows. In our case, fellas, if you was made an alumni chapter, you're not supposed to throw cane. This all came from our previous what was Gil Sean? Province Polemark. Our previous Province Polemark. This is what he put out. And so I just want to know if back there in Memphis, do y'all still have that same thing, or do y'all do something different? with the alumni? Alumni chapters go out, spin canes and step and all that?
No, now we will do like a community service project where we'll go to a high school or an elementary school, and we will have a guys to do 1 or 2 steps or something like that to show the high schoolers or junior high schoolers that we'll do. But I do think the alumni chapters was founded just like the young lady said. Kappa Alpha Psi, well, the D9 organizations is a lifetime commitment, and your works will continue as you progress within the alumni chapters.
Very well, very well. All right, JP, you on the top. What do you say?
Yeah, exactly that. I think the alumni chapters bring some maturity, presence in the community to represent the organizations. Provides the structure and basis for order and setting rules and precedents. Without the grad chapters, the collegiate chapters would reflect some of other Greek organizations where they're just basically like 4-year commitments, and they're off into the world. So I think it's very important that alumni chapters exist and are continuously supported by our members.
All right. And what you got to say, Miss Cheryl?
I think that the alumni chapters distinguish what a Black sorority does or fraternity does versus what white or other sorority and fraternities do. At my job, they're always like, "Oh my gosh, you're still active in your sorority," and I said, "Well, I'm gonna educate you real quick. In the Black community, this is a lifetime commitment. We're always giving back to our community." And they're like, "Oh, I haven't done anything since college." So I think that one of the best things that our organizations have done is to create alumni and alumni chapters. I don't know what I would do if we all, how would we have all met? We wouldn't even be friends right now. We'd just be out in the world bumping around. We wouldn't have all this love if there wasn't that continuation of commitment.
That's true.
I can't disagree with you. All right, darling. Before I get to Sean, I'll get these deltas out the way for they to jump on me. Go ahead. Tell us, darling. I know you will. I know you will. I know you.
Hello, everybody. I do have to agree with pretty much everything that has already been said, but I would like to emphasize that I do think the alumni chapters place a greater distinction between the collegiate and alumni work. There's an emphasis on community service, even if you pledge at the collegiate level. However, there's a greater emphasis because that's what we're all about, carrying that on as a lifetime commitment and bringing it into our lives after we've graduated. We're developing professional careers where we have more ability to benefit the community. So the alumni chapters, we carry that on into our adulting lives.
That's amazing. All right there, gun carrying guy. How you doing, Sean? Talk to us. First of all, you might want to tell everybody what you do, Sean, so that I didn't put you out on punch. You might not tell them what your job is.
Well, I've been a law enforcement officer the past 20. So I got about 2 years left, and then I'll be a pilot full time. I carry guns legally, not illegally.
I know that. But I just want everybody to know. Okay, so what do you think about the question I put out there, brother?
Said what it is an extension of what we learned in undergrad. To stay on commitment as what I want to say, Lady Slide, but it's what Cheryl said. I know what she said. But I also want to key on what Darla got into as far as adult and the grooming and networking for the future is the thing. Like for example, my pilot mentor is a noob who showed me the way on how to become an airline pilot, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So you build those type of, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay. Well, I think everybody hit it on the head. I will just leave it alone at that and just say that what Alumni Chapters does for undergrad and graduates still gives you an opportunity to serve your community, but also most important, I guess not secondary important, I should say, is the fellowship and continue to enjoy Greek life as a professional, whatever career that you're in. But I do have a question. I hit it on a little bit last week, but I just want to know, when you look at the two levels of the fraternity, we'll call it, or sorority, we'll call it organization, for we have to go through both all the time. I don't want to say one, not the other. But I want to know, is there really a bigger difference in your organization, not everybody's else organization, your particular organization or chapter? Is there a difference between your undergrad life, as far as when you were going through the process to join the fraternity, or as you're now in your alumni chapter life? Is there really a difference? What I'm saying is, how many people on here, this is a better question, how many people on here have friends in their fraternity or sorority that you're still with from your college days? And obviously I got one on here already, but if you ask Henry what they call me, he'll still call a 64-year-old man the same thing, rat. So that's what they call me. So with that being said, we'll go right back to you, Darla, since I'm looking at you. What do you think on that? Is it a bigger bond? That's what I'm trying to say, a bigger bond, or is the bond just as strong in your organization?
And personally, I pledged grad chapter as an adult while I was finishing my graduate degree. So I didn't pledge undergrad. At that time of my life, I was actually a young married person building a family. And so my experience, I would venture to guess, has been different than I might have imagined it would have been had I pledged undergrad. However, I know that Delta Sigma Theta is an organization that strives to build young professional women. And my experience and engaging with our collegiates is that they are just as impressive, just starting out in their careers and in their collegiate life as many of the women that are, already in their professional lives. They just are not as tenured, but I would say that their quality of woman is quite the same.
Oh, okay. We'll skip Cheryl and go to JP. We'll come back to Cheryl in a minute. We don't want to get too many DSTs in there at one time. So JP, like to you, brother.
That's fine.
We're significant. I mean, we are significant. It's an immutable fact.
Well, I pledged undergrad. So I think one of the biggest distinctions, again, is the maturity level of the two groups. I think it's, as a collegiate, you were more focused on activities, community, and getting up out of college. During my time, we were known for the being out in the community. That's what actually attracted me to the organization. I had a pretty much a good successful time in college outside of fraternal organization, and seeing the work that the Sigmas were doing in the community at the time really attracted me to the organization. So during my collegiate experience, it was the fun times, the focus on the rivalries and the parties, the study sessions, and traveling to other schools. Being that I was at East Carolina, East Carolina is one of 16 major universities, in the state of North Carolina, which includes HBCUs. So, there was always travel and homecomings and things like that. So, for my collegiate experience, it was a lot of that. It was a lot of camaraderie between different chapters, and step shows and stepping, and that was the focus. Going into the grad chapter, it began to hey, let's raise money for scholarships. Let's educate these high schoolers. Let's reach out to our community. Those competitions between the organizations, went from the stepping at parties to bowling against the Kappas to raise money. So I think there was a transition from the fun and the competitiveness to let's raise money, and let's really improve and cherish our community. So
okay,
I think that was a major transition for me between college and grad.
all right, Big Hank. Since Cheryl disappeared on me, go ahead, Big Henry. Tell me what you think.
Well, yes, sir. I was fortunate enough to pledge Kappa Alpha Psi at a PWI, predominantly white institution, Austin Peay State University, in 1981. Times were very difficult, which caused all the D9 organizations to be very, very close. Now, we did step shows and so forth, and things got a little heated during the step shows, but it was all in fun and games. You asked, are we still in contact with each other? I still talk to my line brothers. I'm not going to say daily, but there are some that I talk to daily. There is some that I talk to weekly, but we're still in contact with each other over 42 years in this bond. Now, the aspect of an undergrad, it was purely about community service, which we did do a lot of, parties, making money, having fun, and just kicking it on the yard. When I got to of course, we stress education because the fraternity was founded on achievement in every field of human endeavor. So, which we did achieve, man. We've got doctors, lawyers, teachers, prominent people throughout this whole organization, man. But when I got involved in the alumni chapter, which I've been on the board of directors, right now I'm the chairman of the senior Kappa committee, and those are seniors over 60 years of age. And man, we're stressing community service there. We're about scholarships, raising scholarships to forward a young person to attend a college. At Austin Peay State University, the alumni chapter at Austin Peay has an endowment. It's the Theta Beta Endowment Fund, where we will be able to send scholarships to a young person, male or female, to get a free education. And right now, I think we've raised over $70,000. You go to a lot of HBCUs and you say $70,000 may not be a lot of money, but that is a lot of money for a small PWI school within Kappa Alpha Psi, and a lot of the other fraternities and sororities have followed suits in those scholarships. I am also the undergraduate advisor for Beta Mu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, which is in Lemoyne College in Memphis, Tennessee, and we have started the Pop Whitaker Endowment Fund there, as far as a young man, a young lady can get a free education there at Lemoyne. So it's really about scholarships, raising money, and just, man, exemplifying and your fraternity. And it's from the graduate level, from my perspective, sir.
Okay. Well, before we go on to the next person, I got to give a station break. Thank you for tuning in TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. I'm going to holler out to Jimmy Dukes. What's up, yo, Jimmy Dukes? One of the nukes from Theta Beta chapter at Austin Peay. And of course, I got to give a big shout out to the big dog, one of my Q friends. I've been knowing him since what was it, Van? 7th grade, 8th grade, and he's also one of the co-owners of TAN TV. So I want to give a shout out to him, and I don't want to leave out my chapter brother Omar. He put on there. I'll read it out loud if I can. As an undergrad at EK, which is I think that's Long Beach State, I definitely didn't have the mindset that I have today. Although I'm an older scroller at 26, I was still about the party and the BS. Alumni, I've been community focused, and that's what I think the most part about. But I'm gonna say my piece for last. Cheryl, I've been knowing you. Go ahead, give us your piece. Thank you, Hank. Give you your piece there, Cheryl.
Are you still on the same question? I'm sorry, my computer died. I had to plug it back in.
Same question.
So,
same question.
The same question about how we're transitioning or what we're doing in the alumni chapter.
What the difference is? Well, just difference in your alumni, your school chapter, and then your alumni chapter.
Well, like Darla, I made Darla. Hey, Darla. I also pledged alumni chapter, San Bernardino Riverside area alumni. This is my 25th year as a Delta. I still know the Deltas from San Diego State when I was there, but in terms of having that experience, I did not have it. So I don't have much to add to that. I can only piggyback off of what my store already said, that we're business-minded people as undergrads and ladies of the graduate chapter. I think we always are constantly working to exemplify our principles that we were founded upon.
Okay. Well, my experience is similar, but I have to agree with Omar. And I didn't join. I can't say why I joined the fraternity back in the day, but it wasn't for doing social work. It wasn't for community service. Hell, it was even hard just to get to the library most of the time because the party started on Wednesday. But I joined for the social life that I saw, and like everyone here, as I progressed and went on. Oh, John's back. As I progressed and went on to no, he's not back. That's him. As I progressed to go on into the alumni chapters, I went from chapter to chapter searching for something that would bring me some happiness. And it's like a church. I think the alumni chapter is like a church home. You have to find that right one where you fit in. And where I'm at right now at San Bernardino, we're a mature chapter, but we have the same mindset and goals that we want to go forward and continue to serve the community with a little bit of the other side, having fun and partying too, which is part of life. I think you just call that socializing. And I don't know where I would be in my life without the experience from the undergrad to carry on into my military career and the careers that I went into. And I also wouldn't have the great quality, not quantity, but quality of colleagues and friends from all the Divine Vine. So I learned so much, and I'm continuing to learn. It's just outstanding. All right, Sean's back. Okay, Sean, what do you think? Just answer your question, then we're going to get into some real good stuff.
I'm sorry, my iPad is tripping. I'm trying to.
You at Cheryl's house. I'm going to tell on y'all.
Shine isn't over here.
I missed the piece. The last thing I heard was we were talking about undergrad
just
versus
the difference
alumni.
Between your undergrad thing and your alumni chapter life. I'm sorry.
Well, full transparency, I'm what you call a hybrid. My journey, I was formally initiated as alumni, but the difference now, when I first started, it wasn't about the community services. It was about the social aspect, more the social aspect of things. It wasn't until actually when I was where we went out to, it wasn't a homeless shelter, but it was like a violence type of shelter. And seeing those little kids and those women and stories and how they ended up, all of that, that's what sparked the community and helped people.
Okay.
On that aspect of things. So that's where it went from, okay, blah, 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 over into like, okay, yeah, this is an organization I can be a part of and really do something and make a difference in people's lives. Now, on this side of things, on the alumni side of things, what it's all about now. You know, Terry, you've been with me. We've gone to God's Pantry and gave and helped the needy. You know, we have the scholarship funds going. We have capital. All these things. That's what's fulfilling to me now is those things versus my original intention.
Okay, hold on. I'm texting the producer. I'll talk to her later. The biggest thing that my second question is, well, it's not really a question. Anybody can chime in and give. We don't have to wait. My computer's going crazy. We don't have to wait for me to ask you, holler your name. You can just step right on in. This is our time to express to the young people that are listening, that are still in school, the experience that you can get, the lifetime friends you achieve, and also to the mature people out there who are, for some reason or other, didn't have the opportunity to pledge at school. That's not a slight on you. I just think that I want you to give them an idea of how it is on the grown side, I would say, of the fraternity, not the parties and all the nonsense that was going. So my question is the most important thing that I've always found that this be the most important thing is the camaraderie. I don't personally see a difference. I mean, the only difference between me, Sean, and Henry is that I've known Henry longer. So, but I think the biggest thing that is difference in the process, I'm not saying the process is better or worse. I'm just saying in the process, and you guys can let me know, is that when you go through the process in school, you learn more about your individual chapter brothers and especially your line brothers. You get to know their parents. You get to know who has a sister, who has a brother. You get to know all that things. And an alumni chapter, it's not because everybody's in the business organization. So like the ladies here, we're in a tight group. So we all know that. But my question to you guys is, would you recommend to a high schooler, not a grown person, we'll get to that one next, to a high schooler that was going to college next year, that's listening to the show, would you recommend joining his or her Greek organization of choice? Just chime in, anybody. You can just come on in.
Yeah. I would say that it just depends on your experiences and comfortability. Going into school, I'm an only child. Going into college, I built my network, without aid of the fraternity. I had the social aspect. I ran for student body president. I mean, I had a lot going for myself without the organization. And joining the organization, again, gave me the brotherhood. So especially coming, out of an only child situation, having those brothers, going through situations that bonded us for life, was truly a great experience. And I definitely wouldn't trade any of that for anything in the world. So that part of the my experience was great. But I feel that as an alumni, I've grown and matured, and my not only within the organization but in PHC in general. I think when I first moved out to California and linked up with my organization, it was the bonds that I made with individuals in other organizations through NPAC, which created, my whole community. So again, I think it's just, when you're young, I think it all goes down to what your focus is at the time. Joining an organization requires a lot of commitment. You gotta be focused. You gotta, first of all, understand your priorities. You're there to get an education.
Very true.
If you're on scholarship, you got to maintain that. So, don't let joining an organization distract you from your goals in life. If that organization can, enhance your life or enhance your state, help you get to another level that you're trying to achieve, then by all means, go for it. but like our organizations are lifelong. A lot of,
That is very true.
doctorate candidates, just don't have the capacity to pledge and do things during our organization. So, during the, undergrad process. So, there's grad, so my advice for the high schoolers is, just, be aware of your surroundings, and definitely if you have the time and capacity to look and, find that organization that fits you, or it looks like you want to aspire to join, go for it.
Wow.
Terry, I've got a slight different opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, do look at joining an organization. It doesn't matter what organization that you join. Just look at what fits your lifestyle. When my daughter went off to college, first of all, we got the D9 here at this house. My wife's a Delta. She plays at UAPB, Delta Sigma Theta. My daughter's an AKA. She pledged at Western Kentucky. And of course, my son went to Arkansas State. But I said, look at an organization and do become a part of that organization, because you will develop lifelong friends, you will lifelong relationships that you will have, and so forth. And for me, I think that was just the way to go for me. And I know my wife is the same way with Delta Sigma Theta. She has sorority line sisters and chapter sisters that she still associate with right now. And she's active on the undergraduate level as well. So I would say definitely look into an organization that fits your culture, and try to become a member of that organization. And once you do become a member of that organization, that's when the work starts, because you want to make that organization the best organization it can be. I was a football player at Austin Peay, and I was riding the bus to Memphis, and there was a young guy, we called him Fly Guy, Woodrow Smith.
Yeah, I remember.
On the bus, and I said, man, you one of those Kappas, right? He said, yeah. I said, I think I'm gonna join you guys. He said, well, Kappa Alpha Psi is unique. If unique is what you seek, then you be unique. And that stuck with me, man. And I still tell guys that now, 42 years later. So, but yeah, I would say definitely join an organization. Absolutely.
Ladies?
I would say, I love what you said, Henry. I just think that every circumstance is different. Like when my mother was in college, she was already a parent with me. And it wasn't possible for her to pledge at that time, like what JP was saying about capacity and what's going on in our lives. As someone who pledged at 28 years old, I was the ace on the line, just like my mother. And my deuce, we went to high school together. We saw each other at Rush, and we hadn't seen each other in a long time. So it was like, oh my God, hey. So it was just awesome. I think we just need to, I think that's what JP was saying. We have to pledge where we're at, when we're ready. But I definitely think it's an advantage for any African-American person to join an organization. We are stronger together. That's an African proverb. You want to go alone, you don't go far, you go together, we can go anywhere. So I think that continuously setting a good example, modeling the behavior that our organizations have tried so hard to keep up and lay down, anyone is possible, anyone could do that. In Delta Sigma Theta, you can't pledge till you're 19. So from 19 and up, I encourage women all the time. And if it is not my organization, I'm with Henry all the way. Join something. Be a part of something that gives back to our community.
I would agree. Darla or Sean, y'all want to chime in? If not, we'll go to the next one.
Just it's already been said. You got to pick the best, the organization that suits you and your belief system, your lifestyle, however you want to call it. And don't celebrate anything less. That's what I can say.
And I'll just add that, I've been thinking, I agree with everything that's already been said, but I've been thinking about how, as a parent, you want your kids to play with other kids that you know have good behaviors, good standards in their home, certain expectations, because as the cliche says, birds of a feather flock together. That's why so many people want to join our organizations, because we're people of excellence. And I think that if you intend to be a person of excellence, even as a young person, consideration of any of these organizations is a very good idea, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to be around people who are movers and shakers, people who intend to make their mark on the world as individuals and as a part of these organizations. So it's an extremely important consideration to make, but one that I think especially young Black teenagers should consider.
Well, I want to say something that you all said, but I want to say it in a different way. I agree that young people, because I don't want to say young Black people, even though we're predominantly Black organizations, we do have other races in our organization. So I'm just going to put it across and say that while you in school, this gives you a family. And when you join an alumni chapter, it gives you people that you can count on when times get bad. As we see on the side that I have everybody here, I see that. Yeah, I'm watching the game. I see that. I see that we need to give those people that in things. Now, Omar just came up again and said that, when he was in high school, I'm gonna paraphrase it, they didn't have any. They had like little organizations and everything. But by the time he got to college, he decided that the environment was for him. And I'm not going to say which fraternity or sorority is best. Obviously, when you in high school and going into college, you all have that big talk about it and all that. But I think that the common denominator in all of the Greek organizations, even my friends that are in white Greek organizations, are achievement. They want everybody to excel. So my next question to the panel is this: when a person graduates from high school and joins the alumni chapter, and this young man always or young woman always have their degree, looking for that start, is this a good brotherly or sisterly love? If that person qualifies at all levels, but the difference between him and the other candidates is that he's in a Greek organization. It doesn't have to be yours, but a Greek organization. Would you consider hiring that person or mentoring that person? Anybody can chime in.
Oh, absolutely, Terry. I am the regional hiring manager for TMS International, which is a steel mill organization. And we're hiring people right now, man. And you'd be surprised of how some people come to an interview. But last week there was a young man that was an Omega came in and interviewed. It was very, very impressive. And I actually passed him on to go to the second round and highly supported him in that. Actually, and I'm not going to say I discriminate or any way, because I don't. But I do look for people that have been a part of an organization, because that shows teamwork with them.
There you go.
That can be added to your organization as well. And you look at any of the Divine Nine when they were founded, especially founded on a campus of a PWI. Look at what those young men went through. Look what those young ladies went through, and that still is instilled in people today, which is amazing, and I look for those traits. But that's not to say that I don't hire a person that is not in a Greek organization, because I've hired a ton that are not in a Greek organization. But yes, sir. I look for. I don't hold no discrepancies or anything like that just because you're a Sigma or an Alpha or whatever, man. I mean, you're a man, and it's my job to help you get to the next level if I can. I don't care what you are. Just come in and perform. Just come in and perform when you are hired. That's all I ask.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. Well, anybody else got on that topic? We'll go to our next topic.
No, I think that was well said. Well said.
It was well said. Who else was? I just think that when we leave school, because everybody went to school. And first of all, I want to put this out because it's a real bad denominator. And I have to say at first I was one of those guys, but I think that joining the organization as an adult is not a bad thing. And I'm not saying this because my lady friends are on here and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this because some people have jobs or lifestyles that while they are at that young age in college, they can't do it because they have to have other commitments. And so that's what I agree. And I think that's the only difference that I see in the job process, like Henry was talking about. I'm not saying hire a brother because he's a brother or a sister. No, if they're qualified to do the job, everyone on that interview session is on at the same level of that interview. I would just say give the nod to the Greek person because, as Henry said and then everyone else said, it's family. You learn teamwork in any Greek organization. You learn teamwork, and that goes for undergrad and graduate because it's a big conflict going on between the young kids in college today and some of the old guys like myself. They want to have that old time thing, and I'm not gonna lie. They call it the basement. Everybody knows what the basement is, so we won't go into that. But I think that that's their choice, and I'm not going to condone it because all organizations, as Darla will tell us, is non-hazing, and I don't want anybody to get hazed. With that said, I said last week, I wish they still had some kind of process on the yards so that the general population could watch a clean process. What I mean by clean, I'm talking about no physical hazing. And I would enjoy that because it's like a soap opera to them and they watch it all the time. And everybody that went through it or was on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence, they see and they watch you and they, hey, you be taking bets. He ain't going to make it. She ain't going to make it. And then eventually they show up. So my hat's off to everybody that's in the organization. And this is TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel for the global reach. I had to say that because I missed the last one. But the most important thing my next question is the biggest difference that I've seen is that the 49ers just won. They're going to the championship. But that's not the biggest difference. The biggest difference is the most important thing is that we as adults.
It was a close game. I just want to say that. Really close.
Yes. We as adults can continue to enjoy the familyhood, I'll call it, because it's sister brotherly love, and with everyone. Because once you get out of college, it's a difference. I mean, Henry can tell you, we had some times in college that people had guns and stuff of that nature. I wouldn't say anybody's name because he's not here. But the point I'm trying to say is that's the kind of BS that we had as young people. But now, as an adult, we all have friends in the denying. I have great friends. I wish Verge was here. Verge is one of my good friends. And like I said last time, I have no problem kicking it with anybody because we're at a level in our life that's what we're supposed to be talking about. But I want to say Omar was talking about this. He was talking about the youth when he was talking about that he teaches the youth. And I think that's the biggest thing that all organizations do is give back to the communities, and we give back to the youth. Everybody has we call it, help me out, Sean. We starting one with the young men in school, high school.
Okay.
Capillate.
What is it called? Capillate
program.
Yeah. We have that. We're starting one now at our chapter. We don't have one right this current moment. Our chapter is still growing. And so I know we're getting one soon, Sean. Can you give us a little insight on that? Do you have the information on that?
there's a meeting next Tuesday. It's a Zoom meeting. There's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 young men, I believe, that are interested in our first outing, which I believe is, look at my calendar, February either 11th or 18th. I'm not quite sure, but that's gonna be the first outing. We've already had right with the chapter, but the young men that have already progressed and gone to college and whatnot, some new youngsters now that are going to be involved. So.
Right. Well, I think that's the most important thing, is to continue to get the youth to grow. And only way we can get them to grow is be active in their life. And I know that from a personal experience with everybody on this call right now, this Zoom, has done that. I've seen it in action. Me and Henry are on Bible study together, so our bond is a lot different for me, because they call me in, and now I'm really into the Bible study thing, and I'm learning. So I think that when you have brothers that reach out to you, for me, it was a blessing, because I was lost. And when they reached out to me and I told them this, my whole life changed around. A lot of things that I used to do, I stopped. Blessings came my way from the Lord. And I'm not going to get into religion, but I do want to know, why is it that all the organizations are fussing at the undergrad chapters, because I have to say it again, about how they are continuing the process of what they're doing. These are, as we said last week, was 17 to 18 to 23-year-old young people who have never really been in a leadership position. I read something, I passed it on from Brother Thigpen about Brother Keenan, the speaker of the minority speaker of the House. And I was really proud that he's in my fraternity, but I was also proud that he was in a fraternity for the position that he's the first Black person in that in that title in either part of the houses. So I think that's amazing, and to have him come and speak his truth. My favorite phrase, I have a shirt from him. It says, "If you don't know, now you know." And that's how I feel about it. And I just think Greek life is the best. So if anybody has anything they want to say, we're winding down. I would like for you to say it now and put your pub out for what's going on for your organization or your individual chapter, or what's going on in your personal life that your sorority fraternity has helped you come through.
Well, go ahead.
And for our chapter, San Bernardino Riverside Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, we do have an upcoming event. It will be in April. I do believe it's the April 28th or 29th is the last Saturday. And that will be more information coming your way. It will be a day party. And we would love to have everyone from the Divine Nine and those in the community to join us. In terms of what has Delta done for me, it is those connections. It is that sisterhood. I would have never met Darla if we weren't Deltas and she wasn't, part of the organization, and I wouldn't, and I wasn't her pro-fight. So it has really enriched my life in a lot of ways that there isn't enough time for me to go into, about all the love and all the pouring into that I have gotten from being a Delta. Plus, I have 10 other Deltas in my family, including my mother and my sister. So Delta is entrenched. So as Henry would say, the Divine Nine is in your house. It is not in my house. We are all Deltas. There is no such thing. We grew up with either you go Delta or you go nothing. And that's probably not nice, but that's what was instilled.
That's it. JP, you've been quiet on me. Go ahead, Henry.
Well, you spoke on a lot of topics there, man. And first of all, I'm just going to preempt the things by saying Kappa Alpha Psi is a non-hazing fraternity.
Dal already told us.
Absolutely. So mindsets have got to change, because undergraduate chapters now are paying something in the area of $2,500 for an insurance policy. And if we don't change the mindset of what is the D9 organizations are doing, the undergraduate levels won't be around because, man, these lawsuits are just astronomical. And that is something that has to change. That mindset has got to change. And a lot of it is our fault. Because when we go back to homecomings and stuff like that, we talk about when the young brothers come around, we talk about what happened to us, what happened to us. And then they're listening to that conversation, and then they go out and try to do it, and someone gets hurt and so forth. That's why we have to curtail those type conversations during homecoming and so forth. But man, as a whole, Kappa Psi's, man, a lifetime commitment for me. One of the best decisions that I've made. The best decision that I ever made was when I got married to my wife over 35 years ago, and was able to, God gave us 2 wonderful children. So, but to see the organization, I have a card from Edward G. Irving, one of the founders. When I first joined the fraternity, I wrote him a letter stating that how proud I was to be a member of this organization, and he wrote me back. And it's just amazing, man. And I still have that card now. But man, it's a great. I'm very active with the alumni chapter here to make sure that we are continually going on in a positive aspect. The undergraduates are doing. They're actually about to have a sneaker ball. I've never heard of a sneaker ball where you're dressed up in tuxedos and gowns and you wear sneakers. So. That's a little new for me, but if that's what they want to do, then we're gonna make it happen. But man, kudos to your show tonight, sir. Thank you for inviting me on. Had a blessed time and enjoyed it. Spoke my J5.
Well, there we go. Come back anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yes, sir.
Just let us know. Anyone else?
Just a couple things from our chat.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Yes, the Inland Empire Alumni Chapter Phi Beta Sigma. April 3rd is our annual golf tournament. It's something that's been going on for 20 plus years. It's a great event from which we raise money for our annual scholarship. And then right after, on that Saturday, right before Easter, we have our annual Easter egg hunt. So our Easter egg hunt is probably my favorite event. We usually held it at Milliken Park, and we invite battered women's shelters, a couple of them out, and we have, the traditional kind of Easter egg hunt in games. We make sure that each child present gets a gift and able to participate, and totally free, and just the look on those kids' faces makes it totally worthwhile. So 2 things that are going on with Phi Beta Sigma in the Inland Empire area in April.
All right, Sean, you said something.
Our chapter. Yeah, so from our chapter on the 28th is the Black Expo. That's where we're going to take the Kappa leaders to. On the we're planning a exam, since we're all getting older now and whatnot, process grading and whatnot. So that's probably going to be during our golf tournament, which is scheduled for May 5th. 7th is supposed to be like a golf tournament whole weekend. We're trying to plan all 3 days to have events going on. That's just one. Save the date on that for now. And between, nothing public. So.
All right. I'm waiting on Darla because she ain't said nothing yet, so I know something's coming.
I actually do have something. I'm gonna leave the Greek path just briefly to let you know that I am a board member of an organization called the Fatherhood Support Network. You can find us at fatherhoodsupportnetwork.org. And annually, we have our annual Dad's Night Out. It's Vegas every year at Aliante Casino and Hotel. This year, we'll be having our first golf tournament. This is going to be in April on the weekend of the 28th. The golf tournament is on the 28th at Aliante Casino and Hotel, and the Dad's Night Out banquet is on the 29th. And this is an important organization that helps fathers stay in the lives of their children. It helps them to not become alienated from their children when they're separating from their like their wives or the mom. So when that relationship goes awry, they can come to the Fatherhood Support Network to get counseling. And there's a number of awards that are given out at our annual event for fathers. So support us if you can, or join us, or both.
Man, Darla, I think that's amazing, because that's the kind of organization that single dads need to have that. And I would love, I don't have a small daughter, that have a father and daughter dance or something like that. I would love to witness that. We want to give a shout out to my oldest child. She's a AKA now. So I'm very proud of that. I got my 1 to 9, one of my children in there. The other 3 are trying to figure out what the other 3 are trying to. 2 ladies are trying to figure out what to do. Junior has no choice. So it's either done, it's either new or not new. That's it. And I will be putting out invitations to everybody that come visit him and wish him well, so that he can understand the organization well. Cheryl, do you have anything?
No, I said what I had to say.
Did you already go? You already went? I'm sorry. I'm old. I forget. Well, I just think that Sean put it out for the chapter. I think that it's very important that we, as Greek organizations, stick together and understand that even though we may wear different colors and different Greek letters on our chest or breast, we're still the most positive, one of the most positive force in young Black children's being outside the parent. So when you look at a young child and they ask you a question about what's that mean, or when they go to college and they don't understand, it's the most important thing about it. And Omar said it again. When I talk to youngsters at a high school and teach them about the organization, he doesn't talk about exactly what he went through as a pledge, but he talks about the reasons why the main clubs in high school. College teachers are also in the network. There's 101 clubs and social businesses, majors, and business organizations. I want to put that out for Omar because he put that in there. But I want to say Omar's our me and Sean's chapter brother. He's an EK guy at Long Beach State. I just want to put out that being in an organization that is predominantly Black is positive, because we had nothing. I mean, if you join a different organization out there, it's a mixed organization, but it's not predominantly Black, and it's not geared to just help Black people achieve in every field that they go into. And that's what I believe in. And so I want to thank everybody for showing up, especially our 2 guests. You're both welcome to come back anytime. I'll be proud of you 2 guys for filling in like on the spot for our colleagues that couldn't make it, i.e. our Sima Moreau, Andrea, and our big dog, the Q, Virgil. They couldn't make it. So I really appreciate my frat brothers stepping up. And ladies and JP.
So Terry, are you trying to tell me that I wasn't your first choice?
No. I put it out to both of you guys at the same time. I put it out at the same time because I want everybody to have an opportunity to come on, because I want everybody to understand that we're worldwide. We're not just here in the empire. We're worldwide. And I want everybody to know that I have, as you can see with Henry, I have a ton of frat brothers that watch us all over the net. And I want to thank them. And I want to thank the Soroids and all the other Greek organizations that are Theta Betas. I don't know why I call y'all still Phi Beta. I'm sorry. I don't know why I call it Phi Beta. I don't know. And I really want to give a shout out to the brothers on the Bible study from Austin Peter Theta Beta chapter. It's amazing. That's my adopted chapter, and they treat me like family. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today without them. And I think that's what it is. Terry, can you have anyone state the chapters? Okay, all right. She wants everybody to give out their chapter organization, and then we'll say goodbye. So we'll start with you, Sean. Give us your spiel. Just the organization.
Sean Goins, Outside Fraternity Incorporated. I'm currently affiliated with the San Bernardino Alumni Chapter.
Okay. Cheryl?
Cheryl Nichols, San Bernardino Riverside Area Alumni Chapter.
Okay. JP?
JP Lynch, Phi Beta Sigma, Alpha Alpha Epsilon Sigma, Inland Empire Alumni Chapter.
He be breaking it down. Darla?
I'm Darla and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Inland Valley Alumni Chapter.
Okay. And Big Hank, where you at, man, in Memphis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Initiated at Theta Beta, Austin Peay State University in 1981. Now affiliated with Germantown Alumni Chapter in Germantown, Tennessee. Memphis has several alumni chapters, but I'm a part of the Germantown Alumni Chapter.
Y'all big cities have a bunch of people. We got like 4 or 5 different chapters in our county. So we're catching up with y'all. We don't have the manpower, y'all, or the female power y'all got. We just doing it. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on and helping me get through this. And I appreciate it. Next week, we'll have a different topic. We'll be going to something totally different. But I want to, like I said earlier, I want to welcome you guys back if you decide you want to come back. We have room. You don't have to call me or tell me, just log on and the producer will know you're there and she'll bring you right on in, and that's it. And I want to say thank everybody for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. I'm T-Rex with Out of Bounds, and I like to say thank you. Tune in next week. We don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we do have Darla, and that means anything is possible with Darla. So I want to put that out. I want to put out much love to everybody. Keep it together, and goodbye, producers. Whenever you want to sign us out, we'll stay by for a minute and chit chat and talk about next week.